Oh, yeah! Welcome back, all you four-color fun aficionados. This is US Comics Cast, HQ for all things comic book connected. We are John and Charlie Rivera, the co-founders of US Comics. Charlie, happy comic book day.
Happy comic book day to you and to everyone listening and watching along. Once again, we are brought to you by Bad Mary Band and Sergeant Finesse Gaming. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that comment section like Silent Bob is going to snooch your nooch in some general direction.
Oof. I had my snooch one time.
Did you?
Still have not bounced back from it.
Explains your sunny disposition in life.
Yeah,
it
well,
does.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. But yeah, Charlie, we will definitely be talking
Yeah.
plenty of nooch and snooch.
Yes.
Maybe a little mooch.
I mean, could go.
let's see.
Can you go wrong with a booch?
I don't know. I've never heard of anyone do it. But in this world, Charlie.
Yes.
And this is not something that I believe was possible, to be totally honest with
you.
If you cry, if you bitch and moan about it enough,
oh no,
the squeaky wheel gets the Earl.
Another John dream
come true. Man,
this is like 4 John dreams to every 1 Charlie dream. I keep wasting mine on fucking events.
I am bruised like you read about. I am bruised like Tina Turner. No, too much.
Who's
too
hurting you?
Well, it's me pinching myself to make sure that I'm awake, because one of those last moment requests, like death row requests, has finally come true.
Oh,
and you know my way. You know my way. I ingest comic books digitally.
Oh yes.
On the regs, because I'm also like an experimental type of.
Like sexually?
Well, I mean, if the comic book is good enough, you never know what happens.
It is funny because
have you read Girls? Have you read what you call it?
Girls? The HBO show?
No, Bad Girls or
Paper Girls?
Not Paper Girls.
Well, I don't even know the context. Have I read back tattoos on a sultry girl in the mall? Yeah.
Obviously, that's what they're there for. It's advertising. Hey, cousin Paul, what is cracking? No, I think it's Bad Girls. It's after he finished writing Watchmen, he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and just write the sexiest book of all time. He did it with his wife, actually.
Oh, I mean, him doing it with his wife sounds like it could lead to very bad girls.
I haven't seen his wife, but that all being said, the nooch has been snooched. I have been complaining about a collected edition.
Yes.
That just refused to come out.
Well, it's funny because that's collected editions. I mean, you mentioned it right at the top.
Yeah.
I find it peculiar that a person as set in his ways as you lives so comfortably digitally.
Well,
because even if I can get past that,
yeah,
then I'm immediately confronted with, like, the minute you start collecting digital, you can build your own omnibus. Like, you don't even need someone to assemble it for you. Yet here you sit on the precipice of an announcement, and you're like, I'm excited someone did this for me. I have all this digital shit. I have all this physical shit, but now I'll be able I'll be able to rebuy those.
I know we have not been roommates long enough for you to truly embrace the policies, but like acquiring something and not knowing for certain this is gonna go here, it's gonna live there, it's going to slide in naturally next to X, Y, and Z. Digitally, that shit's in the ether.
Yeah,
you could
go away
pile it up and
fucking snap.
And also, as well as, it's kind of the test drive. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, love it, or hate it. So why the fuck would I buy it physically and then have to deal with it?
See, I like that you're willing to pay embarrassment tax.
Well, yeah.
Because a digital comic costs, unless you buy them late and on a sale, and you're hardly trying. No one's fucking waiting for something to be 6 months and be like, no, try it. Like, you're not doing that.
No.
Maybe a graphic.
If it's
but
not worth jumping to on the forefront, if you're not in that vanguard,
you're paying,
you are late to the
you're
party.
paying $4 for a digital
Yep.
good
Mm-hmm.
just to then spend $4 on the physical.
Wait,
however,
you're missing the worst part.
you avoid the embarrassment of someone being like,
Can I see your?
"Did you? Let me see your
camera real
collection. Let me go through your."
No, but you look at my collection.
And
It
when
is
you're a trade,
banger after banger after
you don't
banger.
have to deal with like the 4 short boxes
Exactly.
of just scuttlebutt that I'm hoping it turns out
Short
that
boxes,
a page someone will need to
short
buy.
buses. That's what I say.
Touché.
But that being said, there are certain classics that like I need to own this in its collected omnibus.
Yes.
And there was a certain property that they refused to do the work for me. And Charlie, that day was yesterday, because today is bright and shiny. It finally took Skybound Entertainment, along with the good folks over at Hasbro, to give me and you and everybody out there just loving life and looking forward to what's new, the collected early editions of G.I. Joe comics.
First of all, you dropped that news as if you had won the lotto, which was really disappointing for me. I was excited. Touche. Maybe personal lotto. Now, weren't those original G.I. Joe books? Wasn't part of the problem that were there multiple companies that released them? Or was this all like the Marvel stuff they got the rights back to? Like, that's one of the weird things about these like larger fucking properties. They live all over the fucking map.
Right.
So they quite literally will. Are you worried you look like a vampire?
Yeah, a little bit.
I can turn them down.
But like Angular Mike.
But you really were like, they're exposing me.
And also your friend Time. They can both eat shit.
But was that one of their problems? Like, was it a situation where like Dark Horse released it, then some French company
G.I. Joe
out of Japan, then Marvel for 8 minutes, then DC had half a page.
G.I. Joe has been around obviously so long.
G.I. Joe was there
at this point.
G.I. Joe!
Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
It's about we lasted way longer than I thought.
So yeah, G.I. Joe has bounced around a little bit, but the truth of the matter is that there really is only one name that matters in the G.I. Joe comic book storytelling universe, and that's my man, Larry Hama.
Yes.
Larry Hama is as synonymous with G.I. Joe Adventures that when Skybound finally wrapped their mitts around the property, like, oh no, we're gonna need. It's like you buy a house, but like you want them to throw in the furniture.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna need us some Larry Hama up in the living room. Larry Hama is G.I. Joe to me. Now, granted, G.I. Joe as an entity began, decades and decades earlier, before Larry Hama was even thinking about being involved. But when he got involved, that's when so much of what we associate the dopeness of G.I. Joe being an entity, that it was his work that we were seeing, and obviously far even more than the cartoon, which is how toys really is how most folks know it. But he had a ton to do with the toy packaging and kind of like who they were as characters and what have you. But those early comic books were straight fire. They just like brought you in to the world, and they just refused to let go. So you needed to own all those toys.
Yeah, a guy whose toy path went a much different way, saying, "Yo, while Christian was playing with trains,
Yo Joe,
there it is. Christian was playing with trains. He needed some G.I. Joe in his life.
Christian, what is up, Christian?
Christian lives so close now to the Secret Stash. They just wrapped their show live from the Secret Stash.
And he's already home.
Christian's already home.
Or
he's recklessly driving, one way or the other.
Either way is good.
So what came first? Did the comics precede the toy line, or were the comics created for the toy line? I always mix up.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like the history of Transformers, which I would consider like a similar brand,
right?
That they stole from other fucking entities to then make the toys, to then make the cartoon.
Yeah.
The G.I. Joe, if you even know, as we're kind of surrounded by Cobra and G.I. Joe, ironically above and behind you, like what came first? I know it wasn't the cartoon, in my head it was the toy line, but did the comic book was that the same time?
So
was one first?
So obviously, again, the toy line.
I'm dumb. I forgot dolls existed.
Yeah,
they were like the
back
original toy.
Back in the 60s, it was the doll for boys was G.I. Joe, and they were Diesel. They were humongous, and everyone's seen them now at this point. But then when they brought back the toy line, they obviously they shrinkerized them. They became 3 3/4 figures, which made vehicles much easier.
Oh,
but also that
delicious.
was really it was really due to the success of the Star Wars toy line, because they were 3 3/4 for the same reason. They're like, fuck, they're selling literally everything.
Don't you want a tauntaun?
We're gonna
you gotta wait. Here's a cardboard cutout to put your tauntaun.
You can cut his stomach out. It'll be just, kids will love it.
I thought there was a lot of plastic on the outside.
So they so it was the Joes first. Ironically, it was the Joes, literally just the Joes. There were no Cobras at all.
They were like, just play with your army men.
What the fuck are you gonna fight? You're gonna fight your dinosaurs and your
teddy
bears?
Did the bucket of plastic army men have enemies? Well, they came in different colors sometimes.
They came in different colors. And
gotcha. So you assume that
every
if
race
you're a different color, yes.
Different color, we're going to war. Clearly don't think that. But that all being said, yeah, so the figures were first. I'm like, nobody fucking knows about these.
Yeah.
So really at that point,
what the fuck is a snake eyes?
Exactly. That's the figure that we just ran out of paint for.
Yeah.
Which is true.
They had no money,
They're
right?
like, he's black now, so it's fine. He's a ninja.
They were like, a black guy, be like, no.
Like,
he's gonna be white under that.
Slow down. He's not even Asian. But that all being said, the comic and the cartoon kind of both hit at the same point. They just hit very, very differently. The comic was just a whole nother level. Cats died right and left. Like Larry Hama actually made it a point to say, look, you go to war, there's a price to pay. It's not just all sunshine and rainbows.
And the cartoon was like, the cartoon said the price to pay is a lot of parachutes.
Like,
because shit would explode and everyone got away.
They were going to Costco parachute department on a daily basis over there. But yeah, so what was funny for me at least is that for years and years and years, actually I had a conversation with Zapsik, which you can verify, Chris.
From James on the Bottom,
Secret Stash over in Red Bank, New Jersey.
And the fucking podcast.
Fuck yes. But yeah, I was just looking for it, and positive also, it must exist. I mean, this is a comic from the 80s. It's got to exist at this point.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Why would you not want that money?
Come on. So I woke up to the news. So I'm gonna read this.
Your alarm was like news. That's the only article you looked for.
John, wake up, John, wake up.
All of the devices at our home flipped out.
So it's Skybound and Hasbro has announced the upcoming.
Skybound is the very sexy subsidiary of Skybound.
That's the girls' comic that I was telling you about. They've announced the upcoming G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero compendium set. But here's the kicker, Charlie.
9 volumes.
And this, well, you're not completely wrong. But this is really where this is a land in which you live. Ironically, a lot of times for Ghostbusters, of course, but with G.I. Joe stuff, Charlie, it's a Kickstarter. Right?
Oh,
so they're kicking it off, literally kicking it off with a Kickstarter campaign. They dropped a trailer, which we can obviously maybe post afterwards as the link.
I was like, not during the show.
He's like, not
my
now.
Computer would explode.
I'm tired as fuck. The Kickstarter exclusive. It'll collect every original 1982 comic book series issue in 4 distinct hardcover compendiums.
Those are gonna be some fucking invincible thickness,
baby.
Skybound loves their compendium.
And that's fine. The more the heavier, the better. As my dating profile will show you.
So your request for a brother.
You can go ahead. You can jump on the mailing list to receive all the campaign details and updates before its 6 a.m. Pacific time launch on May 28th, which is coming up, baby. I'm like talking about setting an alarm.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I cannot.
A couple weeks after Jameson turns 4.
Ooh, what else?
Oh my god, that was 3
3 ooze,
sexified ooze.
Let's see. So the original 82 series, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, G.I. Joe Special Missions, which were bombs.
Special Missions on this show.
Yeah.
Season 1, I think you talk about. That Special Missions was like, it done changed my life.
My if I love it fucking long time. GI Joe and the Transformers, which we know now.
Yeah.
Maybe this is part to do with the timing.
Oh, interesting.
GI Joe Transformers on the big screen is headed our way because God knows the Transformers can use whatever help they can get.
If I don't
Dumb
see
bastards.
one of the Jeeps turn into one of these
okay.
GoBots, I'm gonna flip the fuck out.
He called him a GoBot. Oh, that's racist.
Bumblebee better be fucking green and mean, sucker.
Oh, what if you get a Tiger Force Bumblebee? Will you be happy?
Yeah, I'll accept Tiger
All right,
Force.
that's right.
They were always on sale at KB, so I got a special place in my heart
Why-
for the worst
Why
dress
in the
Joes.
world would a yellow and white tank be on sale? I can't imagine.
Not to totally go off the map, but
Nah,
just since
do
you
it.
mentioned Tiger Force,
Fuck off.
those figures were so inexpensive. The minute you taught me you could unscrew them
Right.
just to make their outfits a fucking teeny bit less. Do I need a tiger striped shirt and pant, but the pant is yellow and the top is orange?
Are you saying to me, good folks watching and listening,
Uh-huh.
that it was Tiger Force
Yeah.
that began the long road of Victor von Franken Rivera just taking apart figures, putting them back together?
You know what the problem with this policy is, though?
I do.
Can you just reach the figure to your left?
Oh, no.
What happens is you wind up with spare parts. And for those of you watching, that is an Eddie Kingston body
Now,
on
coming to the ring.
on just caged legs.
Eddie
So just
spare parts.
Yep. So it's just like a little bit of a belly, a little bit of a paunch. There's a really cool guy with pants on in the other. All right, I'll put my shade over there.
I would hope so.
But back to the comics.
Yeah. So the G.I. Joe Compendium series, also as well as not to be forgotten, the G.I. Joe out of print G.I. Joe Order of Battle and the G.I. Joe Special. So it's 4 compendiums. Again, it's a lot of paper that they are throwing our way. But who deserves it if not the real American hero, G.I. Joe?
It is so crazy that things can go out of print for so long.
Trash.
I've spoken about it in the past with Zapsik off mic, which is like a crime. Every conversation I have with any member of the Secret Stash crew should be recorded, as Christian can attest. The fact that there are times where like things just become unavailable. Like maybe you can find it at a pawn shop, maybe you can find it in someone's private collection, but you can't go to the store and always just say, hey, I want the 1980s run of G.I. Joe. I would like this trade paperback. They're not made to order. So this being a Kickstarter.
Which is a shame. When movies, you can get a movie put to DVD or Blu-ray to order.
But to go to the back of the top of this convo, that's the problem sometimes with my thinking about the way you collect digitally.
Yeah.
Because out of one side of my mouth, I'm like, you have it digital. Like what? But the problem is digital goods, they're not real. Like if the Kickstarter is successful, and let's be honest, G.I. Joe, it's going to be successful. Once you have those books, you got to lose those books, destroy those books, or have those books stolen for them to go away. Your digital goods, you could wake up tomorrow and they could just not count, right? So my idea of like you should be able to like for $20 get anything you want printed is not a reality yet. Maybe
it's coming though, bro. Like with technology being what it is, more accessible shit is definitely coming.
See, I see that as less likely than this. What I think we're going to see more of is I think G.I. Joe once again is going to be, to steal a word you used before, they're going to be the vanguard of this movement of like, hey, remember that shit you love? Because if you told me the G.I. Joe Compendium Kickstarter is going to decimate, hopefully, but someone like me who like doesn't even have an affinity for it, those old Ghostbuster comics, you can't get a trade of that.
Right.
Do a compendium though, and I'll kickstart the shit out of it. So I think this made to order idea, like Christian is saying, a version of it is going to help revitalize an industry that frankly is shrinking. Right? The theory that the movies are going to elevate clearly isn't true. What it's going to take is nerds doing shit.
And makes it a narrower focus is what the movies really do.
Exactly right. And Christian's bringing up a point. I want to piggyback off of it.
Please.
He's saying that media on demand is already a thing. More to the point, though.
Yeah, Christian, we were saying you can get a movie that's out of print. That's whatever, a movie from the 50s, the 40s. And you say, I want that though. I'm like, all right, we'll make it. Send it to you.
Well, that was the big thing with the like Bill and Ted DVD collection that came out. There was an amazing, I forget the name of the company, it eludes me, but like Times DVDs released the Ghostbuster cartoon in an amazing box set. So this physical representation of something that we lost, like Christian's saying, the infrastructure is there. It's just about how best to monetize it. And I do think that Kickstarter model is among the best ways.
You know what it is, bro? It's
the pre-order is the order. It's always a great idea.
It's like the elections in high school, right? Like they'll flat out just tell you, this is who we want. This is it. Is it a popularity contest? Yeah, sure. But in order for something to remain viable and desirable from 1982,
yeah,
come on.
And also, and again, I hate to speak of it as it's a done deal, but again, the fandom is ravenous for G.I. Joe content right now.
Yeah.
I think the really cool thing about it, and I think the cool thing about the conversation as a whole, is I truly believe we are going to, over the next 10 years, we're going to see dumb shit as investments increase. Because the one thing that we never talk about, but I think it is worth talking about, and I think this might be a good brief convo to then have a longer convo. Maybe we'll reach out to the Secret Stash boys and girl to have that convo. But touche. Christian is a wonderful illustrator. Lady Zapsik is the lady of all comics. I think what we're going to see is investors starting to catch up. If you look at how much baseball cards are now worth simply because of rarity, I do not think it's preposterous to think that a Kickstarter only omnibus of G.I. Joe 15 years down the road might 10x.
It might, or conversely, and I don't want to be a contrarian or like a pessimist, not a pessimist, but sometimes
a realist.
It's outstanding, and it's a brag, right? Like you can hang your nerd hat on it to be like, I got the first, I got the first printing, and maybe it's a difference of a cover, maybe it's a difference of something additional in the rear, or whatever the case might be.
Your Dune book that's blue.
Exactly right. So when something is successful, when the public says, yeah, give me more of this, give me more of that. And I've always held comic book shops to be like libraries. Like it's a place of learning. This is holy ground, respect. You better hold that comic right, or just get it smacked out of your hand. Which is kind of counter.
A little bit. It's a little bit rude. At minimum, it's rude.
But yeah, no, for sure. So what do they refer to the Stephen King trade paperbacks, like for your summer reading? Some of those, because they're disposable, they become more valuable just simply the fact that nobody kept them.
I mean, I think and again, a very, very good point, but I think the market that we've yet to dive into is the market of people who maybe are not going to read that compendium. There are G.I. Joe toy fans.
That's right.
Hear me out. No. It's good for us. It's good for us.
I will wrap your neck in my kung fu grip.
I don't think there's necessarily enough of us that love stuff that will get it made. What we need these people who are going to view it as an investment. You buy the compendium, you keep it mint. Maybe you fucking get it graded. Did we think 5 years ago, when card grading was already at millions of units graded, did we think we were going to see that for video games and VHSs? And people might point to video games, that there was a false during the pandemic. Everything was so expensive. John,
if you
that's
have
not
an ET cartridge in your garage,
imagine a gem
or
mint
in grandma's attic. I will go there right now.
And you have to keep in mind, graded comics have been around for a long time, and we all know the stories. We'll get to that too, because I love that. But one could make an argument
you just made me fill the cup.
Of course, Detective Comics #1 graded in an 8 is going to be worth a fortune. What I think is going to happen, though, is it's going to be a market where a Blue Beetle 27 will be something that maybe cost $5, right? And then you get it graded, and then it's like, oh, it's a 9, but it's 1 9. It's the only 9 that exists. Just that specific book. If there's ever a time where comic book grading has populations, how many are graded in the universe?
Well, then
the minute you start tracking that, John, these are fungible tokens. You know what I mean? These are literal pieces of art and history that can be appreciated by not the core demo. And I think that's something that this omnibus is really going to lean towards.
Again, these are compendiums. It's
compendium. I'm sorry.
I'm not trying to have these people looking for stuff that's not available that we got you all hot and horny for. But yeah, we just got to hit that Christian comment, because this might be the idea of the day. Christian drops in. I'd argue one could and should open a comic book library in New York. Imagine a building in scale to the New York Public Library, but it's just comics. Ooh.
I think I found the solution to all of my life problems. Can someone lend me like all the money?
Our level of security, though, would be legendary. Not to make sure people don't walk around with it, because you got to understand, someone who walks into a comic book library is going to be respectful, just to make sure that they read the books properly. Protect the spine.
That's the club. You get a club if you want to read anything above a 3.
Oof.
The public, no, because I want everyone to read comics.
But you gotta pass a test.
I'm gonna call it. No.
Have references.
Your card, just like a public library, your card's free. I take down some info. Maybe I have a DVD section where you can rent, sell some snacks. But all the comics are 3s and lower, so you can't ruin it. Like 3s are readable as fuck.
So they're like public library books. There's just crumbs in there.
Correct, but then
somebody drew dicks in the border.
Sure, exactly. It's like a real library experience. But John, if you steal a steal from our cousin, you have that private members only club. That's where we make the real fucking money.
You want
to read a 4.2 Action Comics #1?
You guys
come on down to the library.
A private club. We're gonna hippie to that shit. But
holy shit, could it be a nonprofit? How do you start a nonprofit?
Well, libraries are nonprofit.
But how do I start a nonprofit?
I got.
Is that where they just give me money?
No, that's not how that works at all.
How does a nonprofit? Well, fuck.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But
my charity is me just losing fucking money every week.
Final thought: if you wish hard enough, if you wait long enough, if you want it bad enough, eventually, just a little bit of sunshine will peek its way, claw and its way. I said fight twice because I meant it. It's gonna get to you. It's going to get to you. The blue fairy will just blink over your little head and make you a real boy. I have been waiting for the compendium, collected, omnibus, however you want to label it, editions of the comic books that made me a comic book fan. It is such a happy fucking day. I can't wait for it. Again, we're gonna look for that Kickstarter end of the month. We're gonna remind you, because I am all about this shit. We're a little bit out of time, but top of your head, is there anything that you would hope for to be put back in your hands, like in a tangible big, take a big bite out of it?
I would love, and I don't know how tenable it is because it is across multiple companies.
This is a dream, man. You don't put limitations on dreams.
I would love if someone put all the Crow books together, just because those stories. I feel like everyone gets fixated on the absolute amazing, like James O'Barr's original Crow series and story. I mean, it's unquestionable. It's like it began this, but there are so many stories that take that idea and take it in unique and beautiful and devastating and heart-wrenching directions.
Almost like a what if.
They are so fucking hard to get. Because fucking everyone made a Crow book at some point, and the print run was 8. The guy handed out. Fucking jerk.
That'd be pretty bomb. Yeah, so the good folks over there, Dream Answerers, Charlie wants a Crow.
And my version of the Kickstarter, each book would come with a few tracks. You get a bunch of bands involved, so each one has like a soundtrack. With its different vibe.
Fuck it, let's throw an actual crow feather in each edition.
Let's throw a whole fucking bird, bring you back from the dead.
See, always gotta go a little bit too far, man. Crows take over shit, man. You can't control them.
I know.
But look, anybody who tells you that the collected edition of Larry Hama comic books, I mean G.I. Joe, is anything less than just a lifetime dream come true, is just like that chinless wonder, George Toy Boy Lucas. Why, Charlie? Why is that? Why?
Because Han shot first.
Clink. We gotta pick a day. Oh, he's drank it. He already drank it.
Too tart.
You are a tart, son of a bitch.
Oh, Christian had a good answer. The original mini comics from He-Man toys, all blown up.
What?
Ryan from the New York City Ghostbusters.
Yeah, what's up, Ryan? What is
for
up?
our fucking
Christian? That is a tremendous idea. The only and but that I'm gonna throw in there is we need them enlarged, obviously, because the ones that came in the figures were they were just a little.
Or
they were like kids
do you
size.
do a giant compendium of the little S?
Can you imagine like
The spine is bigger than the
like
width.
if you flip it fast enough, it looks like they're all moving. No.
Or do you go sarcastic, Jumbo?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want it to be the proportions that the mini were, but in like adult hand size.
Okay.
But
So,
Christian,
it's still like square for some reason.
yeah, it's, the shapes
Well, you
are
have
all
to
off.
keep the. Oh, that's smart. That's
I
smart.
dig it.
Look at you.
And the dispenser in the store is a giant figure in package. So you can
Nice.
go, and you just take
And
it
then you
out.
tear the pages off, and like you can go to the dispenser and you can. I've ruined it again.
Yeah,
John,
great idea though, Christian.
before when you were mad at our lighting in here,
Yeah,
which I would argue I'm just mad you don't go tanning. Tomato, potato. John, I found
I
out.
wish I looked like a potato.
I found out what happened when Jay and Silent Bob got old this weekend, and it turns out they stayed pretty fucking awesome.
Oh, baby. You know what? This reminds me, Christian, if you're still here, a little bit mad at you, man. I have come out to your town time and time and time again. I spent late nights.
Christian
I
is in
spent
trouble.
hours on the road. I even moved to your fucking state for a few years, and you couldn't see it in your heart to come spend a couple hours with the brothers Rivera. I'm gonna get at you. Man.
I'm offended. I'm offended that Christian hasn't integrated himself enough into that company. Oh, he has his own art he's worried about. Whatever.
Yeah.
He just lives my dreams. I need to live vicariously.
Christian, you creating son of a gun.
Jay and Silent Bob were they were a hot ticket. Ryan dropping in, he was hoping to see him. Again, the
Ryan, you missed an awesome time. They came out. They were in Huntington, New York, which is
the Paramount,
out on Long Island at the Paramount, which is
which
an
your friends,
awesome venue.
your friendships paid dividends because
you like that, right?
We got like full fucking access,
VIP treatment, unexpected, which was great. So I'll just set up real quick and then you run.
Please do.
So we drive out to Huntington.
You're welcome.
This is absolutely.
I almost make a ghost.
I didn't get there. But yeah, so we get into town. We're looking for parking. Immediately spot two of my friends. I reach over. Charlie's driving. I hit the horn on the ecto, and I don't want to name drop, but one of my friends immediately throws a face up. It was Jerry. I can't hold back. It was Jerry. Immediately throws a face up like what? What's this Ghostbuster son of a bitch honking at me for? I'm not in the way.
Your buddy was gonna whoop our ass.
To me, it's hysterical already.
And I have no context because I've only ever seen them
So I was like,
full stage makeup. So I'm like, my brother's honking at people on the road. I'm just trying to find parking. I'm all goddamn jazzed up. That was pretty spectacular.
We found awesome parking.
We found
so
awesome
the day
parking,
started,
and I didn't have to pay for it because it was a Sunday.
Amazing.
Thank you, Sunday shows. The amount of times speaking of being mad at Christian, the amount of times I've been at free parking in Jersey and not realized it because those signs are hidden. Paid like $20 to park for free.
It's not Christian's fault.
He owns New Jersey.
It is. That's true. That is
But
true.
So Jay and Silent Bob Get Old is like such a unique experience because it is really, in my opinion, it's probably like the best show to get a little piece of Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes' souls.
Yeah, well,
because the entire conceit of that show,
it is no. To call it even a show is somewhat, I think.
It's like a hang.
It's a hang.
It's a bit of a hang.
It's a hang. Like you ever just hanging out with two people and their conversation is so strong that you I talk to Jameson sometimes.
Damn it.
You're welcome to jump in there. Their conversation is so strong that you don't want to even interject. So you're just like sitting in the back seat, like just going back and forth from one to the other. And it's a this just with celebrities.
I just got fired
It's
from
a podcast.
Just got fired from a movie. Just live on the show. Aren't I more of a villain for the Banjo and Buckshot movie though? Like if you really think about it,
Christian, he's method right now.
Exactly.
That's what he's doing.
But was that your first Get Old?
It was my first podcast of his at all. Like seeing recording.
It's really only ever
they
been
recorded the podcast right in front of my face.
Yeah, it man, what a special show. So that show comes out of Jay's sobriety.
Right.
When that show started, it was like the Save His Life podcast. And it was fucking awesome. And then it evolved rather. As his sobriety wasn't as much of a concern.
For the best possible reason.
It just became telling stories about when he was a druggie because he got into such cartoonish shenanigans, which what else would you expect from Jason Mewes? But now he's a father of two.
I know.
So now they're like adorable stories about how much he loves his kids.
A responsible, contributing member of society. Ugh!
How dare he? What I loved about it though was we were put right on the inside track. Now we were sworn to secrecy.
Oh,
but
don't do it, man.
No, I'm not gonna tell them that we heard some pages. We got a little bit of a preview of not the next movie to come out, which comes out soon, which I'm very excited about. No, John, the next movie on deck is another Jay and Silent Bob movie, and we got to hear a scene, and I can promise you, those of you who...
We were a focus group.
We were kind of a focus group.
We kind of helped...
I mean, we had a good time.
Make a moment in this flick.
Which I a little bit feel like might be bullshit. He might be like, this scene rules. Let me act like these people are surprisingly into it. I don't know about...
I mean, it may have been false modesty, but I'm like, that shit was hilarious.
That shit was...
You knew it was hilarious, Kev.
If any of you have been... You know, there's the holy trinity of Kevin Smith movies. You know, his first three, obviously there's Clerks. The big three for a long time were Clerks,
Mallrats.
Well, not just in order, because that the Jersey trilogy was originally Clerks, Mallrats, and Chasing Amy.
Oh, you're talking about the Jersey.
But I feel like the big three for a lot of people would be Clerks, would be Chasing Amy, would be Dogma. Would be the three. Those are like Kevin Smith at his most powerful, right? Mallrats, again, a movie that has that's his cultiest movie, I think. And then Kevin Smith had his era where he was trying to cash in on all these fucking ideas that he kind of invented that other people were running with. The fact of the matter is, like it, love it, or indifferent to it, Zack and Miri Make a Porno was Kevin Smith doing Kevin Smith almost through the lens of these other creators that took the Clerkian formula, in my opinion. Although Seth Rogen, I think Seth Rogen's career looks like a series of Kevin Smith movies, but Kevin Smith is only involved in
Seth Rogen could be a Kevin Smith character that he just
like actual real life. But I do.
What if Kevin Smith did a weird science?
Oh my god!
Like just was.
He had like wear a jockstrap on his head.
Yeah,
like what would be
Storm and
nice
jockstrap.
Well, it can't be a bra.
Yeah,
he lost all that. Seth Rogen lost all that weight.
He lost all that. Yeah, you're right.
The unfortunate thing is not everyone's able to enjoy Kevin Smith's work as much as me. So there are some people that feel like he lost the step. The scene we got to hear.
Who are these idiot cretins?
Dumb people.
I'll explain it to him.
But this new scene for me felt like alpha brain fueled Kev Smith. This felt like him firing on all his cylinders. The way he told the story was that he was kind of doing it as a writing exercise, and he fell in love with it, and it felt like that from what we experienced.
Yeah, man.
It
was just funny.
And I was supposed
it was funny as hell.
And you know what's really, really exciting for me is when an artist can balance just good, just funny, just exciting, just heartwarming, and something with heart. Like you don't always need a through line of anything beyond having a good time. And for me, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was like a celebration of a career well worked thus far. This feels like another, like, hey, let me take a beat, pat myself on the back, and just have some fun. I could be wrong. Again, we didn't get the plot summary. I was able to presume some shit based on the scene that we heard them create.
That's the other thing. Seeing somebody so regularly put themselves out there for public consumption, it does a lot of things. I think personally it endears prospective audiences to the person. You're like, fuck, man, this guy he's like, it's an open door policy into what makes an individual tick. And you know what? For with that being said, Jay Mewes too.
My God,
like Jason Mewes has put his issues, his problems, his struggles, his successes, and his new life and what it looks like now. He put that shit all the way out there. And you know, Kevin alluded to also at the time when they were first kind of getting started. Kevin knew that he was going to carry a lot of the weight, most if not all. Right? And Mewes explained as like, I'm just sitting there enjoying the show. So when he threw it back to me, he's like, fuck, I don't know what to say right now.
It's like our show.
You know, you write my lines. Also like our show. But that is so far away from the case now. Mewes threw multiple stories out there which were just funny as hell.
I mean, Mewes
and Kevin is like, oh shit, blah 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 blah.
And Mewes does his own shows now, which is insane. So again, to see like the dynamic duo,
man.
And Robin's not only holding his weight, he's pulling a full fucking night weight. Like just the sheer.
Robin gets down on rooftops on the back of motorcycles. You don't give a shit.
The sheer enthusiasm of those two, and they had a bad, like, the schedule stunk because you and I have done that Jersey drive to their neck of the woods, and it ain't fucking fun.
And we did have fun, Christian. By the way, we really had a great time. But what was
would have been better if Christian was there, but whatever.
The party is always better when Christian's in the house. But one of the things that particularly tickled me was they were talking about that commute from Jersey to Long Island, and I was sitting, I was like, ha ha ha, wait a minute, I did that shit on the regs, whether it was for an event just because I needed to be someplace on the island. Oh man,
Ryan does
hours and hours on the road. I know it all too well.
Ryan prescribes to my method though. The only difference is I don't stop at a diner. When I'm in Jersey and coming home, I stop at Wawa's because I don't have access to Wawa's day to day, week to week. So I would go to a Kevin Smith show. It would start at 8, which means it starts at 8:30. Right? Try to buy some shit that people outbid me for
drop
a half hour. Then Kev, we could be watching a movie. The minute Kev gets the mic, you're not wrestling. You're going to be in the palm of his fucking delicious and tiny. By the way,
you don't realize
how crazy is his like chin line now? The guy looks like a statue of a Greek Kev Smith. Motherfucker's face is so skinny.
You're looking at his chin line?
John, with hearts in my eyes. Motherfucker like $1 million. Not even chins. This gimmick. What's this? What's the cheekbone? Woo, he got some Hollywood blonde cheekbones.
Man, you are just working on getting that order of protection signed by the judge in the morning.
Yeah, I get it. Ryan's accusing me of killing the diner industry. On Long Island, diners are doing just well.
There's no diners on Long
Island. I got to support Wawa in Jersey to just even out my heart.
Well, one of the things that I'll take full credit for. So we had the opportunity. We get in again. We saw multiple friendly faces that we knew, and they're at the Paramount. Go ahead and check it out on the website just for funds.
It's
but you're not gonna
amazing venue.
You're not gonna see the pictures. The Paramount's outstanding, but the Founders Club,
the speakeasy that's built under it,
the Founders Club that's downstairs was next level stuff. Like that was also one of the things. You prepare yourself for being entertained, having a great time. Again, seeing familiar faces, have some yucks. But the Founders Room was a different, unexpected level that we got to participate in. Check it out. Check it out on the website.
It's
a great venue to see a show for sure, but it got secrets.
It got fucking secrets. And it's one of those things, like, I'm not that guy. I don't have access to cool shit. often.
Charlie,
So the minute I get to dive
you were
in,
like, follow me.
yeah, well,
Charlie walked around out there like he knew what was around every
the
corner, every hidden little nook and cranny.
that's why I take ownership of shit. I'm like, I know this is diminishing. There's no Charlie being reinvited, so I gotta have as much fun as
No,
possible.
I don't think that's true.
I'm slapping waitresses and shit. I'm getting in fights with security. John got us thrown out.
You wish.
Security went to you like you were the mob boss, by the way.
No, they came to
Fucking
me like,
well dressed.
hey,
They were like, "Hey,
get your boys out of here. We're trying to close."
Johnny-O.
We shut the place down.
Well, yeah,
We shut the place
as
down.
we're to do. And what's
Well,
funny is I
It
remember
was a Sunday night.
as we're leaving, not to blow up your spot, you're like, I'm good for one drink. I'm like, I'm good until they're not willing to have fun with us.
Charlie's
anymore.
like, I'm good till the security guy comes over and says, "Fet the cook out."
I did 100% tip. First time in my life, I did get a free drink. So I really just kind of paid for my drink.
Just
but
paid for what you drink. Not bad.
still,
That's not
100% of your drink. Double it, lady.
So
That's for you.
let me ask you this,
Please do.
because you have seen,
Oh, God.
respectfully, you've seen Kevin live at least twice as often as I have, maybe more, maybe 3 times.
It sounds sad when you say it like that.
What? No, not 3 times I've seen it. 3 times
No,
as many.
that's what I meant.
Oh,
Because
I don't think it's sad.
you're in like the you're at least a dozen shows, I think.
Yeah.
I've seen triple.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen 30. I'm so close to 37.
Sure.
The next show is 37.
You know what happens then, don't you?
I get to go to the diner with Ryan. He gets to buy me a painting.
So of all the
That was a Chasing Amy reference.
of all the live shows that you
Yeah.
caught, and obviously again you've seen his showing of movies, you've seen his other podcasts of his, you've seen kind of an evening with Kevin Smith, like just a full-on monologue. He's monologuing like Syndrome. Where would you rank this entire experience as a whole? And also, as well as, what's your preferred delivery system of Kevin?
Live Kevin is the best Kevin.
Sure.
The podcast does a hell of a job. The video shows do a hell of a job of kind of bringing you there.
Mhm.
But Kev live has an energy in the room,
Mhm.
not dissimilar to like a really good strip club. Like there's just a
Oh.
palpable energy. Like everyone is vibrating on the same
Pasties,
wavelength.
or just let them hang out there?
Just let them hanging
My
out.
man.
It's the jorts, baby. It's the jorts. I will say special shout out to anytime he's on Long Island. The removing me from a fucking
Which is rare,
out, very rare.
right? I think they were
Very
saying
rare.
the last time that, at least in Huntington, that the last time that they were out there was like immediately pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which was a show I missed, and I literally remember this thought like, I'll catch the next one. Pandemic. What's why I went to the fucking theater. So any Long Island show is ideal. I do not mind a New York City show,
Sure.
although that travel can be a bit complex because again, you're not driving into a fucking city show. Anytime he's at the theater, just the fact that he lives above it, you know, for at least when he's in town, he kind of has his apartment.
The
there.
Modcast Cinemas.
I definitely, I think my favorite Kev event, and I've been to a few, is anytime he's touring a film.
Okay.
Him touring a little piece of his soul and waxing poetic about it is something
Sure.
really special. My favorite, when Clerks 3, I got to ask a question, which was like, I'm a psychopath. I was picking those seats to be like, I think this is where they're putting the mic. I was fucking, I was
dead on.
I was 2 rows off where I thought the mic stand was going to be. So I thought he'd be able to like, I'm number 1, baby.
He thought you didn't have to get up. Like,
So
exactly. What I was wondering,
I did think like I was very worried that I offended him because I remember I started it off. Some people didn't understand. Like online, I was a bit of a talk, like where they thought I was being a dick because I started off with like first mostly, how dare you? Because Clerks 3, spoiler alert, fucking murks all sorts of 2 motherfuckers die in that movie minimum. I'm sorry, 3, 2 adults, 1 not born baby. But I meant that in like the most loving way. That's my
respectfully, you're a dick.
No, not a dick. It was like, how dare you play with my heart?
I know.
Oh yeah.
I was yeah, you're like you insult me. I'm like my question. Like, do you have a question? I'm like, no.
but yeah, and I truly do think that he was one of the absolute earliest podcasts. I also do think the sweet audio. He makes good audio. He makes good audio. My least favorite Kevin Smith. He sometimes does like morning talk radio in California, and people keep interrupting him with like weather.
Oh,
and I'm like, let the man talk uninterrupted for 2 hours, please.
Come on now.
What about you? What's been your best? Your favorite experience thus far?
This was probably my best experience.
If he wound up going downstairs for a little bit,
like
if his plan was like, I'm gonna fuck around with my buddies for 20 minutes, then my head would have rocketed off.
Yeah.
I don't even want to interact. I just want to
be like
close, be like, hey buddy, thanks for the jersey.
I mean, when he threw me a hug when we saw him at the
he hugged you like he was.
I was like, yo,
close personal friends with our dad.
Do I owe this guy money right now?
Give him a little smooch on the cheek.
I mean, it was like, that's what it was. It was like, is this really happening? I had that face on that young kids who are Star Wars fans, the look they get when Chewbacca hugs them in Disney. I'm like, oh my god, my god.
I'm willing to bet anything that Kev hugs better than Chewbacca. That was top 5 hugs.
It was
that.
Good,
no
man.
offense to our mother, who like executive produces the show. Kevin Smith hugged me better.
He's a hugger, man.
Every time I've seen him, every Kev hug I've gotten, better than any mom hug I've gotten.
Now,
and I'm her child.
The question is this:
Yeah,
is every Kev hug better than the one before?
No, the one at the birthday bash was
the Grundle one.
The one at the birthday bash was one of the deepest hugs ever, but that was pre-pandemic.
Oh,
so I think everyone. I also think he now is a little bit lighter, so now it's getting to the point where I'm just jealous. I'm like, bro, do you need a sandwich? Are they not feeding you in Hollywood?
It's a better hug if you get your arms all the way around him. I got it. But my favorite, I think my favorite straight up show, we saw Red State at Smodcast Cinemas.
Now,
that was amazing because again, he spits before the show.
Yeah.
He'll to the point where you're like, I don't know when the movie's gonna start, so I can't do the math and know when we're getting out of here. But you prepare for that and in the best way. But again, it was just one of those flicks that sometimes you have to remind people, like, yo, this happened. You need to check this out.
Yeah.
It's an awesome, awesome movie.
I remember when I saw because I went to the Red State tour. And you know me and even back then I had an affinity for like not watching trailers. I still watched that one, but that movie played in such a way that it lulled me into a false sense of security because there's a couple dick jokes at the top. It's about 3 friends trying to get some pussy, and then suddenly you're like, what? And then by the end of, and again, spoilers for Red State, when they do the fake out, holy shit! I thought fucking Ben Affleck was gonna fly down. I was like, Kevin Smith has the biggest clackers in Hollywood.
Is the shit monster coming back?
I will say this. There is allegedly a script out there that the real rapture is how that movie wraps up. Because Malcolm, his friend, like dared him. I want them to animate that shit so bad. But just imagine Ben Affleck coming down with his winglings. Your head wouldn't pop off your dick.
It's all wrecked and broken and shit.
Well, this would be non-canon. I guess it couldn't be exploded. Because the head explodes in that movie.
Listen, you guys get together.
Done. We'll work.
Pencil it out. But it was Charlie for me. It was just an awesome experience.
Yeah. You're welcome.
And and also it's like yo, this cat's in my town right now. It was just awesome. Really
there's something about Kev. Just like he's a born storyteller.
Yeah.
It's like a gift from God in whatever format. Like, I'm positive he released a jazz album, I would wind up fucking crying by the third track.
Flute. And also as well as it's contagious.
Yeah.
It's fucking contagious. I said this before. Again, Chris, I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, it's not smoke. Good people, the best people surround themselves with good people. I have truly never met a Kevin Smith person that wasn't an awesome person in and of themselves, like in their own right. So that's like a magic trick.
That's why they won't let me into the club.
I kind of understand.
Damn.
I kind of understand. it's I think that's
every week I'm having a bad week, man. You need to suddenly be honest.
I enjoy the fuck out of him. Everything he does, I truly take enjoyment out of it. And he's an excellent storyteller, an excellent creator, fantastic writer. His dialogue is beyond, second to none. Of all the amazing things that he does, he just makes people feel good, man. He just makes people feel good. The people he surrounds himself, they got the memo. Fucking Mewes is an awesome creator now in his own right, and I think across the board, you can apply that to literally each and every one of the lives that he's touched directly, including me, hugging me like Chewbacca.
Final thought, do yourself a favor at some point. Throw some scratch towards this guy. See him in, and honestly, the best thing is, no matter what you do, go to one of his movie. I hope his next movie gets a tour as well, because I would love
that's gonna happen.
that. And I would love to be able to do like the city one, the Jersey one, and maybe
so you're gonna do your own
my own
trilogy.
Well, I'm saying
That's
I know
impressive.
I know a Long Island theater, nice 300 seater, probably charge like $70 a pop.
I know a guy,
and I heard they get a liquor license, so I'm going to be going to that theater finally. They're going to think it's because you work there now. No, it's because booze is accessible. But do yourself a favor, check him out in any format. But if you can see him live, again, a podcast, a live with, a movie tour, fucking do it to it. It's going to.
You're not going to regret it. It's just an awesome experience. It's entertaining as fuck, and again, especially with the projects coming up, who knows how much of an opportunity you'll have to do so you want to jump right in there.
Yeah, because I keep trying to be a fucking unpaid extra in his movies. Never works out. This time the strike stopped me. Last time COVID stopped me.
Goddamn suits, man.
One day. Yeah, goddamn suits.
Goddamn suits.
Protecting people. But John.
Charlie.
I have good news about this show.
All right.
No suits give us a fucking dime.
No.
That's why I'm so miserable. Because we decided we were going to be the one fucking
Charlie's
podcast.
Like, I am for sale. Come and get it.
Fucking and for dirt cheap prices.
Just picturing you in a window like a lady of the evening in Amsterdam. Charlie's like, oh.
Yeah, 100%. Oh. And it's like 50% off. It's like painted on my fucking window. John, unlike every other pod who are like happy they're making money off of fucking dick pills or dick shavers or dick hats, it's always a dick is involved somehow. We're not like those pods. We don't sell it for some random brand that's willing to pay, but I would. John has, dignity. I don't. So today we're once again brought to you by some of our absolute favorite humans. First up is, of course, Bad Mary. You heard them during the intro. You're going to hear them again at the end of the show, but if you're wondering where else you can catch their act, you can catch them. Bad Mary Band across all social media platforms, patreon.com/Bad Mary Band. You can save today badmary.com for merch and upcoming performances. It's almost summer, so they're going to be playing a lot more. But my favorite thing, John, their entire discography available on all music streaming services.
We got to get them on vinyl. That's like the only thing missing right now.
You know that like everything's limited to 5.
Well,
just a bunch of colored discs.
That's fine.
Well, what's her face does it?
As long as I'm one of the 5, it's totally okay. Talk about media on demand. That's another one. Christian, get on that one. But also, as well as it does leave the question, where we dropping now, as always, and hopefully moving forward forever and ever. Amen. It's with the Sarge currently streaming almost exclusively, gaming rather, almost exclusively on kick.com. Outstanding gaming content, co-streams, giveaways, contests. Don't be a sucker. Check him out today. He is an awesome, very entertaining gamer. Always has something to say, but also as well as don't forget Jokers_stream over on twitch.com. Again, these are great gamers, but more than anything, they're just great people. They're entertaining and they have fun. It's called a game. It's called a game. Because you're supposed to have fun. These guys, they both get them. Check them both out.
I'm all about the bats. Today. But John?
Yeah, bats.
Do me a favor?
What?
Hit that button. Boing. Sorry, I'm a hurrup.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Hurrup.
There's the crusty fucking executive that I expected.
For those of you that are joining for the very first time, easy for me to say.
No.
I'm gonna play a filthy suit. John's gonna have a movie idea. He's gonna try to fucking sell it to me. And if he wins, he gets an amazing prize.
Blank check.
A blank check. It's a fake blank check.
That's what I'm pitching. The movie Blank Check.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. For anyone out there who's just fucking lame and does not know the 1980 classic flick Flash Gordon, shame on you. Like, where were you raised? Under a rock? Your parents have failed you. Society doesn't care about you.
Not even
your degree means nothing.
It's true. What he said.
Fix it. Fix it. Go out and watch.
Do better.
Go out and watch Flash fucking Gordon. I love the graphic that Charlie chose. It was the Flash Gordon L comic. I gotta love that. But Charlie, and I just want to refresh everybody's
trying to match
memory.
the gold background if people are watching.
I like it. I definitely do fucking like it. Either people have forgotten because they haven't seen it for a while, or if they just have never seen it, or there's that small demographic I realize who think that this is just a very, very far back Ted prequel. None of them happen to be the case. A 1980 space opera superhero film, really before the entire fucking wave of them that have washed over us. One of the little detailed notes that I caught now for the first time, and having loved this movie and watched it over and over and over again, produced by Dino De Laurentiis.
Oh my god!
Who famously also, as well as, produced Conan the fucking Barbarian. Two more galactically different movies you cannot have.
Well, I bet they did a crossover comic.
Charlie, ironically, well, they should. Skybound, it's looking at you. Ironically, one of the actors who pursued the role of Flash Gordon and didn't get it just because of his accent, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
And then Dino's like, just hang in there. Hang in there. I'm gonna get something for you.
Yeah, I play for the Jets.
Fucking go deep, bro. So yeah, I think it was only 2 years later that he had him running around.
Like, hey, you still have that stupid accent? He's like, I worked on it.
I thought you were acting this whole time. That's brilliant.
I can now say made.
Can you imagine Schwarzenegger's like, yeah, so I took some classes and I feel rather good about it nowadays.
He like slipped on a banana peel, hit his throat.
Oh no, not again. Oh god.
This keeps happening to him every 6 months.
So Flash Gordon predates Thank you, Freddie. It predates so much of the sci-fi material that liberally borrows from that shit. Also, as well as we mentioned the Chinless Wonder. Originally, he didn't go out to make his own original quote unquote creation. It's called the Star Wars. He wanted to make a Flash Gordon movie, and they were like, "Nah, son, we're good on that. We're gonna do our own shit."
Can you imagine how different the world would be if
also,
3 Flash Gordon instances?
Can you imagine we were complaining about the Flash Gordon prequels, but then like a Flash Gordon series comes out, you're like, "Oh shit, yeah, that's the joint right there." But
the fucking vulture people.
So
again, I need the refresher. Leave me alone.
All right, so here's the refresher real quick because I'm rapidly running out of floors. Here we are. To relieve his boredom, Emperor Ming the Merciless of the planet Mongo. Love it. He begins Earth's destruction just by fucking with us. He's creating like natural disasters here and there. He's like, "Nah, this will be fun. Let me make the little suckers run around."
He's a Republican.
Well, again, we try not to get public, but it's okay. It's okay.
Are you saying Ming is bad?
No, he's great. He's a good guy. So he creates these natural disasters on Earth. Our football star, Gregory Flash Gordon, boards a small plane and meets travel agent Dale Arden, worst name for a hot chick. Mid-flight, the cockpit is hit by a meteor, which I didn't know could happen, and the pilots die. They just die. They have heart attacks. They don't know what happened.
Oh no, a meteor!
Oh, it hit me in the eyeball. Flash takes control and manages to crash land into a greenhouse owned by former NASA scientist. That's convenient. Dr. Hans Zarkov, played by Topol. You know who Topol is? The fucking the dad from Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh shit!
Changes the greenhouse, and then all of a sudden,
there's that line.
yeah, well,
You were right on top of it.
It's fine. So he thinks, you know what, the disasters are being caused by extraterrestrials pushing the moon towards Earth. Good call, Topol. But he's also secretly constructed a spacecraft. Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Elon Musk basically do the same thing? He's like, I gotta build a fucking rocket ship in my barn.
Are you sure we're not political?
It'll be fun.
Okay.
Not that political to say something happened. It happened. What do you want me to tell you?
Fair enough.
So he's like, you know what? This is the Elon stuff. Fuck it, you guys are coming with me, whether you like it or not. He throws.
You're gonna call it X.
He throws at that point, even world famous athlete, the quarterback of the New York Jets, and some chick travel agent. He's like, get in the spaceship. We're going to space, stupid. And they do. He's like, yeah, no, it's fine.
It's a fun fact. Every Gregory is very agreeable.
He's like, okay, if you say so. We're gonna run out and down. We're gonna button hook over here. Okay, it's fine. So they naturally.
That dude is Arnold.
We can't afford it. So they get now to the planet Mongo. Hilarious. Ming this is gonna be too long. Let me paraphrase.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'll tell you one of the one paragraph.
Well, we keep on veering off like every third
Stop
sentence.
being fun.
Jesus Christ. So they get there. Ming is like, all right, the chick can stay. Let's kill the tall blonde guy, and I'll brainwash Topol. It'll be fast.
I like this version.
And Flash is like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm gonna play football right here with all your little bitch cronies, and he does. He hits him in the face with eggs that just happen to be shaped football shape. Take this, take that, go deep. So they're fitting to escape, but now he wants the chicken, right? But his daughter, Ming's daughter, is like, ooh, that Flash, yeah, he could do it to me. So she actually ends up helping them escape, and escapes with them. So
such a great 1950s sci-fi.
But there it is.
The bad guy's daughter or wife.
That is like cape, long sleeve shield, tiny pants, tiny little underwears. Basically the Vince McMahon of the sci-fi world. So
with less poop.
Well, debatably. You haven't seen the sequel yet.
Oh no.
So they end up getting separated. So Flash is running off with Ming's daughter, and Topol. And no, that's a lie. Topol is stuck with Dale, the hottest name of all time. So they're stuck behind. They're left behind. They're separated. Blah blah blah. They're doing a little run around, but Flash is instantly just challenge upon challenge upon challenge. They go to one fucking planet, and 007 is there. He's like, "Fuck you! I don't like you. I like her. Let's fight now." They're fighting on discs that are changing.
That shit rules.
Spikes coming up out of the ground.
I know at one point he does the Dune box, but it's like a tree stump. It's like your hand will hurt.
First of all, don't ever call her the Dune box, okay? I find her very enjoyable as a performer. She will give you the voice real quick. Take that, Sandword. But yeah, so ultimately they do finally get together. Vulcan, who is your turkey wing guy that you love so much, they help them out, except that when their planet is their area is threatened, their city. Like, good luck, Flash. Let us know how it works out. They separate them.
We're Giants fans.
Flash is driving around like a space motorcycle. I don't know. He didn't pass his license. If I was fine. But ultimately, they're getting chased down by Ming's forces. He's like, "Fuck you! You ran away with my daughter. I'm gonna kill you now." Never mind the fact that he took Flash's chick, as far as he knows. Like, how do you know that they weren't together, man? Show some respect, Ming. What's wrong with you? And now we know you're merciless with that.
No.
So that being said,
no.
Flash is finally like, I'm tired of your shit. We're gonna straight up attack you. That was to me, that was kind of one of those moments where, like, oh my god, like they had an entire planet coming after you. He's like, fuck this shit.
The best.
I'm taking it to you.
The best defense, strong offense.
Hell yeah.
He did not learn that being a Jet.
And well, he does
Must
play as a quarterback. He only plays offense. So they attack.
Is that a line in the movie?
Nope.
It should have been.
That
was solid.
Thank you. Never mind the amazing fully Queen soundtrack. Not one or two songs. The whole fucking soundtrack is Queen. this movie is just one of those movies that it sticks with you. Not Charlie, it sticks with me. Love it, love it, love it.
Like I knew there were two hot chicks.
Oh yeah.
I know that
Yeah,
the threesome thing I remembered.
Like the worst thing, he's like, I remember that.
The turkey.
I remember that shit for
the
days.
Turkey MacGuffin.
So in any case,
Fuck does it end?
Flash does end up winning the day. He attacks Ming's compound. He does it actually during his alleged wedding to Dale. So I'm like, man, your timing is just the worst.
This Dale name is growing on me.
That's what I was afraid of. So he gets it done. And the funny thing is, you know, the best offense is a good defense. That's what Ming thought too. Except his defense was for shit. So they just got right in there. He's like, oh yeah, I'm in big trouble. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to hit you with my power ring. Except it just doesn't work. Just like arbitrarily, it fucking doesn't work. He's like, and he literally, I don't know if you remember this. Ming's like, that usually would win the day for me. Let me see, like looking like a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner bit. He's like, well, let me see if I see the obstruction or something like that. Looks at his ring, shoots himself in the face.
No,
Ming shoots
that's not how it ends.
You feel free to YouTube it, look
Are you
it up.
kidding me?
Charlie, he shoots
Does
himself.
the movie explain, or the movie was like, yo, we gotta go?
He shoots himself in the
But
face.
does the movie explain why?
No. So Flash and company like,
oh, this movie was stupid as fuck, huh?
Flash is like, yay! Like a literal Isuzu, the fucking Toyotathon event type commercial. They're just like, they jump in the air. They Ron Burgundy going in freeze frame.
Why don't
He does a freeze frame.
I'm positive to protect me.
Man.
To protect me, the God came in
Oh,
and deleted the last
God
5
was like,
minutes.
no,
yeah.
you don't need to see this.
This dumb
Watch some
motherfucker.
scramble porn.
This dumb great, and also Ming the Merciless looked awesome.
It was Max von Sydow.
So he literally is like, haha, huh?
Bam. Charlie's like, this isn't right.
Wow.
So
was that movie a comedy and I didn't realize it?
I mean, at this point, you know, you can take your enjoyment.
You're doing a sequel to this.
Oh
You
yeah.
want to pick up that ring?
Oh yeah.
I think I figured out the fucking. By the way,
Funny-
the way you just
Funny
did,
you mentioned it.
the way you just explained the original
Yeah.
is how the movie plays in my mind. I remember a bunch of
You
talking
remember it
and plot in the
perfectly.
front, and then the end is a
You're like,
blur.
oh, 007. Oh, a turkey guy.
The end
Oh.
is such a blur of like whatever.
That's how they were. Like just
That's how I pitch all of my
Just
movies.
wrap
I
it
have
up.
like I have a German idea that I'm like, yeah, do that if you want.
And somehow
The
they
ring
win.
fucking shoots him in the
Somehow the Emperor returns.
face. Aw.
So what's funny?
Star Wars sad.
Now what's funny is you jokingly refer to the actual ending.
No.
So like everybody does the freeze frame and they play some more awesome music, and then you see the ring laying there.
No, fuck off.
And a gloved hand reaches down, picks up the ring,
I thought I liked this movie.
and you hear Max von Sydow's laugh. Credits. So then you like, even as a kid, I was like, ha! What? Okay, that's it.
You're
What
fucking kidding.
What happened? How does it? What happened?
They're like, we'll see you for the sequel that's not going to get made.
Meanwhile, fast forward however many fucking 82, 92, 2002, 2012, 2022. Here we are in 2024. It's finally getting done by
You
me.
came to the only
of all
producer
people.
dumb enough to
Yeah.
be like,
I'm like,
I
oh, yeah.
guess. Are there boobs in this?
So this is where we're gonna start.
Fuck!
3 hours later now.
Oh no!
So, but look, here's the thing.
Should we restart this fucking music?
You might ask yourself, well, how did Flash get home?
I didn't, but for the
He didn't either.
for argument's
Flash
sake,
doesn't go
hey, I'm the
home.
producer now.
Flash doesn't go home
Stays
at
with
the
a
end of the movie.
naughty
No, this is like, how are you gonna get home? He's like, I don't know. Credits. What the fuck?
bitch.
What the hell happened?
Fuck
So
your
Flash and Dale, your buddy, and
dad.
Topol, your Topol, they don't know how they're getting home. Like, yeah, let's see what happens.
Like, I got a ship.
It's a long flight, man. Like
Still annoying.
so many questions left unanswered.
Oof. I think I figured out what the first one didn't do.
Now
well.
here's the funny thing. I wasn't the only incredible super fan of this fucking terrible movie with a great soundtrack. Also, a young comic book fella who you may have heard of, Mark Miller, loved Flash Gordon. Love Flash Gordon. And Mark Miller lives in this unique comic book world where he has fuck you money. He's like, I'm gonna write and make what I feel like, and not only are you gonna like it, you're gonna pay me handsomely for it. Fucking Netflix bought all of Miller World.
And so far, I've doo-dooed on it, so
and
they
done
could
like,
do worse.
they've doo-dooed, granted, but they've also like not touched the majority of it. There's so much amazing material there. One of the properties that falls into that category is called Starlight. Now, Starlight,
With the Express?
similar. Starlight tells a story of a sci-fi
Whoop, we're at the top floor.
sci-fi space hero that has his adventures, returns to Earth. Nobody believes him. Like, shut the fuck up, Bob. What are you talking about? And then he's like, "Oh, nerds!" Like, it was really great. I really did those. Yeah, show you this.
Nah, like she was super into me, the evil broad.
Nobody believes him. Like, just get out of
He
here.
shot himself in the face.
So for me, so he just kind of like lives life, and time waits for no man.
Poor bastard.
So now he's like an older guy. He's not in shape anymore. His wife done died. His kid's like, yeah, we'll catch her on Christmas, maybe. He's like, ah, boy. Then all of a sudden, all of a sudden out of nowhere, they're like, oh, Bob, we need you again. He's like, fuck you guys. That was like the worst thing that ever happened to me. That's the Mark Miller story. And it makes clear allusions without referring to him as such, because he doesn't have the rights, that was Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon did the deed, got back to Earth somehow, like a Shawshank Redemption, crawled through the shit river or something, ends up back at Earth.
Which
like,
is the Milky Way.
They're like, that's why it's called that. They're like, yeah,
Aww.
sure you did all that
ruined
stuff.
candy for me.
And again, has had to so much that if you go now, if you read the comics, like, oh, that's Flash Gordon, like clearly. But if you read any of the descriptions, Flash Gordon is so intentionally avoided ever being mentioned, that you're like, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just some arbitrary whatever the fuck. I'm doing this, Mr. Producer. I am doing the
Official.
I'm doing the elf version where I'm like, they write a children's story. This is what we do. We bring in Tyrion. We're bringing in the best fucking writer of this material as my co-writer.
Nice.
I am bringing you John Rivera and Mark Miller's Flash Gordon 2. So what he wasn't allowed to do in his own comic book, we're gonna do. I'm going to immediately borrow one second before I go off the page, and I will. We're going to reuse the concept of when he gets back to Earth, nobody believes him. There's no parades down the canyon of Main Street. So much so that I am having Sam Jones back as Flash Gordon, and we are going to start at a New York Jets Hall of Fame circle. You know when like the other players show up and they kind of, congratulations, blah blah blah. But the stadium and the team makes it a point. MetLife is announcing players. Oh, it's Charlie Rivera, linebacker from 1994, and blah blah blah. Like Sam Jones, quarterback, 1980.
Or Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon, yeah. Flash Gordon, quarterback, 1978 to 1982. People like,
oh, because he's such a weirdo.
Fucking Mark Gastineau year, and people are like, oh my god, they lose their fucking minds on all the other famous Jets. We'll give them a little couple of line credits. It'll be great. But he's like fucking unbelievable. Even here, I'm not getting the love, whatever the case might be. Then you're going to get that inevitable.
Yeah.
Back. What's your question? Because it's
burning. Are you
mouth.
going to do some shit? Now this will be your second pitch in a row where it's like, so this one screen hero is a schlub piece of shit,
Charlie,
and no one loves him. Are you okay?
I hate to be the one to tell you this, but that's how shit is, man.
Oh, fuck.
That is how shit fucking is. But here's the thing: that question mark. Oh, that shit got dark, bro. Dark as dirt. So we're gonna find out that call for assistance ends up being the person that did grab that ring ultimately. People think, maybe it was his head of security, maybe it was him himself,
Maybe it was a line producer.
But also as well as it turns out to be his daughter. If you remember, Flash Gordon would have been over in about 10 minutes if not for his daughter. Like, oh, daddy, I love him. And Ming didn't pay any attention because he was taking a look at Dale.
Yeah.
But it turns out
I don't think you appreciate Dale as much as I do.
I don't. Oh, the sergeant up in the house. What is up, Sergeant? So thanks for that, Ellis. I appreciate the dynamite dropping. So not my fault. Not my fault. So again, to speed it up for Ellis because he got shit to do. So you're gonna find out, that it was actually his daughter that picked up the ring. Awesome. Now, if you remember and you don't, they try to do like a where are they now type of thing. The daughter and the prince, they do end up hooking up and they take over Ming's shit.
They do a credit sequence where they're like,
not exactly credited, but it felt like that.
Don't you?
Your buddy Turkey guy is like, oh, you're now the fucking head of security for everything. Like they kind of tried to wrap it up in a nice little bow, except for the ring that they're like, oh, that thing that he shot himself in the face with. Somebody picks up and
except for the ring,
Max is
and
laughing
like
his
Flash is just like, I'm displaced in a different world.
Now, is there someplace I can sleep around here?
I hope no one's ruining my legacy on Earth.
So that all being said, and I promise I'll wrap it up now. It turns out that it was the daughter. She picked up the ring, but also as well as she did all the agreeing. She's like, yeah, so I'll marry that guy. Sure, no problem. Yeah, this we'll run. But she's fucking furious. She threw everything away for Flash Gordon, and Flash Gordon's like,
she won that
bye.
Flash ding dong.
Of course she did, and said it all the time. This was a horny princess.
God bless the 80s.
Holy cow! She put it out there. It was not a fucking secret.
The Charlie cut of this movie is not as successful.
So she was harboring that deep fucking resentment.
It's like, I'm gonna shoot myself in the face with this ring.
So she slowly but sure, no, she's gonna shoot you in the face with this ring. She slowly but surely starts eroding away all the quote-unquote agreements. Flash does find his way back home. And
who comes to get him? Turkey guy?
It's actually not really that. No, she sends the message because it took that long to get everything prepared. She's basically making a Flash Gordon perfect weapon of destruction. She wants to eradicate. And now he's like an old, pudgy fucking,
hey, Sam Jones is light.
Maybe not pudgy, but I definitely want Seth MacFarlane to voice maybe like one of the attack robots or something like that, because hilarious. So we're gonna get him back into that world that I'm not reading the fucking thing anyway. That actually, the Max von Sydow and Frank Langella as Ming and Skeletor revenge team up would be amazing. Unfortunately, because time is a bastard, we would have to do that in an animated fashion, but I'm not against it. So we get Sam Jones back into that Technicolor world.
I love it. Shirt's a little too tight.
Yeah, look, what are we gonna do? You loosen a couple of buttons, you'll be fine. But it's the return, and now really the hook is like not necessarily a fish out of water because he's been there before, but like I'm getting too old for this shit. All those adventures are gonna be back. We're gonna get cameos from everybody that is still alive, throwing a couple of new wrinkles, a couple of new faces. And we're going to get a proper fucking ending to this story after how many decades did we say ultimately?
5?
Too many years have gone by. We're going to get a proper fucking ending.
I love it.
You know what I want to give Sam ultimately? I want to give him kind of like
flowers.
I want to give him that old guy swagger. Like Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Fuck yeah.
Like, that's what I want. He's like accepted to a point. He's like, well, this is not at all
what I was written for. My only question is when he gets back to that world, is it a situation where it's like, I'm getting too old for this, or is it more of an Ash of like, glory days are here again?
Well, it's what it is.
Because when he gets back, is everyone like, fucking, it's Flash Gordon? Like, do they just fucking go to Tizown?
100%. But
he's like high-fiving, they're cheering for him. Like
he's just eating the pizza out of their fucking hands. But what it needs to be is that they're like, holy shit, Flash is back. But then he slowly but surely sees like, oh, well, that's not quite right. Oh, but this over here.
Oh, because he's smart.
That should... He's like, wait, what's happening here?
He has that jet quarterback IQ.
And then by the... We got the inside.
I don't like the Jets.
It's clear. It was clear. And then when he finally puts 2 and 2 together, maybe a couple of minutes too late, whacker there. That's when the fucking the pincer claws are gonna fucking go in, catch him, kind of drag him down off of that high horse, and then it's really gonna be the laissez-faire attitude of like, fucking, kind of like not even aiming, shooting, and whatnot. Because that's what he's good at. Ultimately, being Flash Gordon, the sci-fi hero, is what he was made for, not quarterbacking and not operating with the rest of us normies. But it'll take him all that time to realize, that's why it was her. She's still holding up the facade of, we really need you, and throwing out all these dangers in his way, but like intentionally, she wants to seem destroyed completely. So a little bit of detective work before he realizes, fuck, it was you this whole time.
You bitch.
Then she busts out the ring, and we're not gonna have her shoot herself
Are
in
we
the
gonna
face
do
like
a tease where she's
Daffy
like,
Duck.
oh, the ring isn't working.
She's like, let me take a look at it. Psych! I'm not looking inside the ring.
And just like it just pops up on the screen, the original scene, and just you being like, what WTF?
Oh my god. But look,
no, I'm gonna buy fucking 9 of those. Do you have 3 follow-ups? Because I want fucking. We're getting this motherfucker some lunch boxes finally.
We can long form tell that story.
No,
I just been waiting so long.
I genuinely think that is like, it is an inspired way, especially considering, like, in hindsight, what a dumb fucking movie. So much so I deleted the last scene. I remember the battle.
Charlie, the battle is outstanding.
Bro, the minute my Wiggling Boys bounced, I'm out. I was like, there's no chubby beard, guys. Fuck this movie.
Once you saw it like you were 6 years old, so you maybe had to go to bed. Or
last week I mentioned like that was one of those like WB11 fucking, it's time for the movie. They fucking showed me Flash Gordon like 30 weeks in a row. But apparently I just kept being like, well, time to hit the old dusty. I got an Elio's pizza waiting for me.
One more time.
Holy fuck, I can't believe he shot himself in the face.
He shot himself in the face, in the mush.
John, all the money. How much do you want? You want a superhero budget?
I feel like
I'll give you 150
what's ironic is that movie had a huge budget.
I feel
because
like
it was coming off of the success of Star Wars.
Yeah.
So everyone was just throwing money around. Disney's the black hole. Battlestar Galactica. Oh yeah. Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek only got to movie theaters because of what Star Wars did.
Are you doing bad green screen? Ellis wants to know. Do you want it to like? Are we going for like that retro look?
Ellis, I know you look up to me. I know you appreciate my aesthetic. If Flash Gordon is going back to the world, then he's going back to that world. We're gonna have the inkjet backgrounds that play. Like, like where are they living exactly? Mongo is still Mongo, Ellis. That has not changed. However, I am gonna do a traffic where when he's in our Earth as we know it, it's gonna be like just like very plain, very kind of tame colors. When he gets his ass back to Mongo, woo! All of a sudden, Crayola is gonna be like pumping money into our budget. So yes, the short answer, Ellis, is yes. I am.
What's fucked is I feel like you could make that movie that you just described for like $50 million and have the best catering every day. Like that's not an expensive movie. That's not an expensive movie. And if you don't think you can make again, make it for 50, advertise for 50. We've made 300 million.
We made
Godzilla Kong money.
I have one absolute mandatory requirement, otherwise it's not gonna happen.
Tell me now.
I need Queen back.
How?
Well, no, dude, Adam, whatever his face is,
Levine from Workaholics.
No, is it Lambert?
Oh yeah.
Dude, they're amazing. They're amazing with him fronting the band.
You know what's so fucked up? I was like you know how the whole rest of the band's alive? Fuck them. In my head, I was like, well, it's dead. He died of AIDS. They did a movie about it. He's like, you know that guy named Queen? He's dead. John, I knew that Queen still performed, and I went, well, he couldn't possibly mean that version of Queen because, like I just said 2 seconds ago, fuck him.
Oh, Charlie's picturing a fucking the fucking Coco version of the skeleton, but his name was like "Bark, bark, 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 bark."
Now, so
The mustache.
Are they gonna write? Yeah, nice. Are they going to write new songs?
Yeah.
We got a
Of
whole
course.
fucking Lambert got some bangers in his back pocket.
Nah, all he does is show up and sing, and he's a great vocalist. He also dresses like a fucking like a pirate from 1492.
Are we gonna
Yeah, man. Full
remaster?
soundtrack.
Can we? I will allow most of the soundtrack to be the new Queen. We need to take the original vocals.
Oh, of course.
Freddie from the fucking titular. That needs to just
Defender of the universe.
If you want, I'll give you some extra scratch. You can like blow up the size of that fucking band. A new version of that, but with his original vocals.
I've got it. I've got it right here.
Uh-oh. Don't point
I've
down.
got it right here.
People don't know you do the show without pants.
Well, I got it right here.
Let him breathe.
We layer in Lambert's vocals, and you make it a duet. Ooh, some tight harmonies.
Number 2.
Ooh, oh. You better hope you don't go 3 and 4 because we're gonna run out of vocalists right quick.
That's true. Just fucking every time one dies, we're like, another.
Another coffin.
I'm just injecting someone with like fucking a disease just to justify it. John!
We gotta hit the summer movie market.
John, great job. You know, again, you were in a bad mood to start the show.
How dare you?
You were able to
fucking guy
yourself up. Ha
ha!
John, there's only one way that we end each and every episode of US Comics Cast.
It's true.
I'm going to tell them, but I do need you to go ahead and show them because first, you got to turn the power on. Then you got to turn the volume up. You got to tune Bad Mary and open up the window wide and scream out to that beloved night sky, save me, space girl! Yeah.